let's just start with that Barcelona Espanyol result. Did the way that game finished out, did that really tell the story, do you think? Because, I mean, Espanyol was in it, and Barcelona, did have to sweat it out a little bit before those 2 late goals.
He certainly did. You're absolutely right. Barcelona looked in complete control of this game. They were 2-0 up at half-time, and then Espanyol came out. The start of the second half, they're thinking, listen, we've got nothing to lose, guys. We've got to go for it. They got a goal back, and Barcelona were sweating it a little bit. And for half an hour in that second half, they were on the back foot. Espanyol were pushing and pressing and looking like they could get themselves back into the game, but they didn't take any of the chances that they created, and Barcelona went and hit them. And listen, Barcelona have got so much firepower. When you go to the Camp Nou, Barcelona are going to score 3 goals. They're averaging 3 goals per game, every game at home this season. It's absolutely extraordinary, the number of goals that they're putting up, and they do have this firepower that can get them out of trouble. So, yeah, to answer your question, they were on the back foot, particularly in the second half, but they rode through it, they dug deep, and their quality in the final third show. And listen, they were worthy winners. You look at the stats, they had loads more possession, loads more chances, loads more shots. The XG was much higher, but Espanyol, credit to them, who got themselves back into this game, a game which it looked like they were going to lose pretty comfortably.
Are we now comfortable calling it? Is LaLiga over? Is Barcelona going to win it? No Liga?
Yeah, I might have said it last week on the show as well, after Real Madrid had lost to Mallorca. So I feel even more confident saying it now, that I cannot see any way that Barcelona do not win this league title. They're 9 points clear. There are 21 points left for grabs. So yeah, it really does feel like Barcelona are going to win this title. It feels like Barcelona should win this title because they're the best team in Spain. They've been the best team in Spain all season, quite clearly the best team in Spain for all season. They've got the best manager as well. And what I liked about Hansi Flick today, he did not think about Tuesday's game, unlike Alvaro Arbeloa yesterday in his team selection, leaving Tchouaméni on the bench, bringing on Mendy, trying to get people ready for the game against Bayern Munich. Hansi Flick said, I'm not thinking about Atletico Madrid. I am thinking about how to win this game against Espanyol and how to go 9 points clear. And he played Pedri from the start and played him the whole game, played Lamine from the start, played him the whole game, showed real respect to the competition, respect to the opponents, and was absolutely convinced that today was the day that they were going to wrap up the title. So credit to Barcelona, who, like I said, have been the best team all season, and credit to that man there, Hansi Flick, because he's made the best decisions this season. And if you look at it, what he's done in terms of players, Gerard Martín is now a centre-back. Well, he wasn't at the start of the season. He was the sub left-back. Eric Garcia can now play as holding midfielder. No problem. Nobody thought of that at the start of the season. Even Pedri playing in the double pivot a little bit deeper. That's Hansi Flick's doing. Ferran Torres is now an out-and-out centre-forward. That's Hansi Flick's doing. So I just want to give credit to the German manager, because I think a lot of last season's title and what looks like this season's title is down to him.
Yeah, it's been a masterclass by Hansi Flick, and a perfect record at home through 16 matches is absolutely sensational in La Liga. No question about that. But you mentioned Gerard Martín, who had to come out at halftime. Is there anything to that, going into a massive match, obviously, during the week against Atleti?
We'll wait and see. Hansi Flick said it didn't look too serious, and he thought that he would be available for Tuesday. Let's see. It was one of those injuries where he went down on his own, clutching the back of his ankle, his calf. We weren't entirely sure. And when a player goes down on his own, it's actually quite worrying usually. He played on for the remaining 5 minutes of the first half, then went off at the break. They didn't want to take any risks with him. Hansi Flick said he didn't know 100%, but he said, I think he's going to be okay for Tuesday. So let's see, because Pau Cubarsí is suspended for that game, having been sent off for the first leg against Atletico Madrid. So without Cubarsí, they will want Gerard Martín fit and available. There are options, obviously. Araujo can play there alongside Eric Garcia, two very solid centre-backs. But Hansi Flick likes Gerard Martín, likes the way he brings the ball out. He's a left-footer, important for the way that Barcelona play out from the back. So if he is fit to start, he will definitely start that game. So we'll see how he develops over the next 24 to 48 hours.
League's over.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I think so. I think 9 points at this point, and I think even if we were to expect Real Madrid to go perfect for the rest of the season, that's not enough, and I don't think that they will. I think they're going out of the Champions League in this midweek against Bayern Munich, and I think Real Madrid just don't have that consistent level of performance. They haven't all season. I think this is a lost season yet again for Real Madrid. We saw last year, we knew Ancelotti was on his way out. This year, I think it's pretty clear that they're going to look for another manager in the summer as well. But from a Barcelona point of view, they have withstood this season incredibly well. I don't think they've gotten necessarily the best Lamine Yamal season this year. I think last year there was a little bit more of a novelty to what they do. This year, though, they've had some more ups and downs. They've had some injuries in defense. I'm still not incredibly certain about their midfield when they're not healthy. When it's Pedri and Frankie de Jong, I am. But in the current state, you know, they throw Eric Garcia out there at midfield again. I feel a little bit less confident about it. And really now, they can fully focus on this game on Tuesday in the Champions League against Atletico. They're trailing by 2. They're away from home. We know a certain kind of game script can go in their favor, but I think the most important thing for Atletico is to go and chase that goal early, get that first goal. If they defend for 90 minutes, Barcelona will tear you apart at some point. So it's going to be about Atletico's approach as much as anything.
Yeah, you're on the call on this one, right, on Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah, looking forward to that for sure. So obviously you have to make up a 2-goal deficit, but that is something that Barcelona is more than capable of. Is there a situation where you think, you know, this is where this match hinges? I know you told me what Atleti needs to do in terms of getting that early goal. Barcelona scores early in that one. What are we looking at? Like, how does this match develop?
I think we look at a game, if Barcelona scores first, if they come out attacking first and they go flying at Atletico and they get an early goal, I think we see it difficult for Atleti to sort of wrest it back, right? To be able to get the initiative back in the game, because that is kind of the way that they play sometimes. They are comfortable, not all the time, but they are comfortable at times defending. And I wonder if they're going to say, we need to approach this like it's 0-0. I think it all depends on sort of where that sort of line of confrontation and what the level of attacking is that we see from Atletico. Because we know that Barcelona are normally exposed based off of how they play. They will be even more exposed if they throw numbers at it early in the game. So I think it will largely depend on those first 15 minutes and what is the approach from Atletico. Because we know that Barcelona fully fit. I think that's the other key part of the game is we talk about Martín. We see Pedri come off in the first leg at a certain point. Was he rested today out of precaution, or is that injury a real big deal that could be an issue for them in the second leg? Really, I think we'll know a lot about how the second leg is going to go when the team sheets come out. Because if Barcelona can field a really strong team, then I think they have every chance of coming back. Phil, let's bring Atletico in on the conversation as they lost to Sevilla, but they completely rotated the team. Diego Simeone wasn't there on account of yellow card accumulation. He was suspended for the match. How do we then see the Tuesday match developing? Because Barca did give something to this game. You mentioned sort of the nerves that were there in the second half. Lamine goes the distance in the game as well. How do you see what Barcelona's approach is going to be away at the Metropolitano in this game against Atletico?
Yeah, I mean, it felt like this was a really good way for Barcelona to prepare for that game, you know, winning a derby, going 9 points clear, scoring 4 goals. And at the end of the game, the players stayed out on the pitch with the fans. They were chanting together. The home fans were chanting, "Si se puede, si se puede, yes we can," giving them belief ahead of Tuesday. So there was a nice moment, a communion between players and fans, everybody recognizing the importance of Tuesday in the Champions League. But in terms of the starting 11, that is a strong starting 11 that was fielded. And as you said, Lamine Yamal played the whole game. Pedri played the whole game as well. A lot of important players racking up minutes, but obviously Hansi Flick makes his decisions, thought it was important to get the league title wrapped up. Conversely, of course, Atletico Madrid were able to make 10 changes from that first leg. Only Juan Musso stayed in the starting 11. They brought in a number of kids from the youth academy to get their debuts. It really was a game that did not matter that much to Atletico Madrid today away at Sevilla. They've got this game against Barcelona coming up in the Champions League, and next weekend they've got the final of the Copa del Rey against Real Sociedad as well, which could be a game which defines their season, really. You know, winning some silverware would make this a fantastic season for Atletico Madrid, whatever happens in the Champions League. So it was pretty clear that their focus was not on today's game. I think a lot of people would have expected Sevilla, who were playing for their lives, who were in the relegation zone, to get the better of Atletico Madrid, which they duly did, and listen, able to completely rest their whole starting 11, pretty much, Atletico Madrid. So that's good. I think no injuries as well for them today. So even though they lost the game, they'll be pretty pleased with them being able to go into the game against Barcelona with no new injuries and fully focused on getting through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, Phil, when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, right? What they did, focusing on those other competitions. It's going to be a good one, though. Barcelona trying to make up that 2-goal deficit on Tuesday. Thanks so much for giving us a few minutes of your time.
Pleasure, guys. Looking forward to the game on Tuesday.